Guys, here I am in my car, in my night clothes, running a live stream on Holly Television. And I'm Holly Baglio, your hostess with the mostest, broadcasting to you live from Holly Television Mobile Studios, right here in my beautiful garden home state of Nazi, New Jersey. I want my HTV. Take on the World rocks. And thank you, Take on the World. I love you, Greta. I got to make sure you got my cell phone number. So I wanted to say this, guys. Take on the World rocks. You know how I started a new project with Heavenly Abba? And it's called Project Untrigger. Okay, good, Greta. It's called Project Untrigger. So when I'm triggered, Yudhe Vavhe has given me a line that I can follow out of the MK Ultra fog and chaos of my mind, out of that and into Yeshua's living light and life. Also, I'm sorry for the video I ran last night. I didn't realize my mixing board was off and the sound is god awful. Brooke, I've been thinking about you so much, Brooke. So I'm going to be honest, okay? I'm going to pretend. Hang on. Of course, I had to park right by a loud road, right? Now I'm going to sweat my tuchus off because the windows are rolled up. Alright. Now I'm going to pretend right now, check my Gmail. I will, Brooke. I'm not at home right now. If I check anything right now, I won't see my screen. Alright, so I'm going to talk to you guys. Right here, I'm talking to Victoria, Brooke, Greta. I'm talking to Take on the World. They have a channel, TOTW. They were on last night. It was Chad, Schaefer, Rick, Hummer, I don't know. Mr. and Mrs. Sampson. So I'm going to talk to you guys. If I focus on that, I can be open and honest. If I'm thinking I'm talking to the public and there's scrutiny, judgments, and criticisms that get nobody anywhere, you know, they might be good Christians, but are they good for Yeshua? I'm not talking to them, I'm talking to you. Hey, River. So, in Take on the World's live stream last night, they were talking about the conference. I seen that on a car the day before, Brooke. I'll tell you what, Brooke. CDC. So it's hard for us to turn on the news to listen to it because we have the variants coming out, which are trigger words. They're also the name of brainwaves, and it's also the name of an MK Ultra project. So it's like a triple fold. I noticed that's what is happening to us survivors. Cross-programming triggering. So they're triggering multiple programs in us, and they're crossing our wires even worse to trigger us in multiple ways. So Take on the World in their live stream said CDC. So instead of me being triggered with the variant names and then people on news saying, well, the CDC said this and Dr. Fucka said that, and now we're all screwed, and you know, the CDC has nothing but lies coming out of it, and CDC this, and it's like, okay, so now I'm hearing the lies of CDC. We got the different variants. I am beyond sideways triggered. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. They said, Take on the World said, CDC, Critical Doctrine of Christ. Critical Doctrine of Christ. CDC, Critical Doctrine of Christ. What's critical? It's critical that I make Yudhe Vavhe know I love him because I do. I repent to him. I want to serve him. Critical Doctrine of Christ. It's critical I pay attention to him and what he wants because he will cure and heal me. CDC, critical doctrine of Christ. He won't abandon me. He won't lie to me. He is the truth. He is my curing and my healing and how I stay mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally healthy. So I will go to the critical doctrine of Christ to stay healthy, and I will pay attention to the critical doctrine of Christ. So when the news and people are talking about CDC, I don't have to get locked into that triggering. Yeah, I haven't. Half the time, River, I sit here and I hold it and I play with it. I don't just, seriously, I know it sounds weird, but I'll sit here and play with a cigarette for 2-3 hours and not even light it. It's like a fidget thing more than anything. So I gotta go home and take a shower because I have a big day ahead of me. Another crazy one. So because last night I listened to Take on the World and they said critical doctrine of Christ. It snapped in my head and I thought, wow, I can just think of critical doctrine of Christ and what he wants and what I want to do for him, instead of listening to the CDC and all the lies, the hubbub. So I can find my way out of the lies, out of that triggering, out of the lies. Because of Chad, Mr. and Mrs. Sampson, and Rick, because of their critical doctrine of Christ, and me finding a way to get out of the MK Ultra fog and programming and spinning. Last night I did not drink wine. I've been awake already 4 hours today. I haven't drank wine. Now, for ex-super soldiers and MK Ultra survivors, SRAs, DIDs, Pizzagate survivors, you know, it's real easy for us to run to drugs and alcohol for 2 reasons. Mainly, one, we were fed them and given them in the dumbs and in Pizzagate and in the satanic rituals and sacrifices that we were subjected to. It was fed to us. More than food and water was fed to us, drugs and alcohol was fed to us. So right there it starts a problem. Number 2, when someone like me wakes up to numb the pain out, a survivor like me is easy to fall into drinking or doing drugs to numb the pain, to escape the pain, to turn off the memories that we have, remembering the points of extreme trauma and torture we had. You have to remember, having a 6-pack of beer gives you a predictable feeling. Now, when altars come forward, me, I get tears that come forward. Tears are 3 altars at one time. So I get like 4 tears coming forward. So 4 times 3 is 12 altars at one time. It's tears for me. So that is unpredictable. When the altars, when the tears, when the MK Ultra is triggered and all of that comes forward, that is a very unpredictable feeling. And I feel like I'm on a roller coaster ride and I'm out of control. And I feel like sometimes when I'm triggered like that, because it's so unpredictable, if I grab a 6-pack of beer, that's a predictable feeling. And now I've gained control and now I know how I'm going to feel. Versus the MK Ultra triggering me and that the altars coming forward and feeling altered because they're altered. My altars were fed drugs in these mind control projects. So when they come forward, they feel altered, like they're still on the drugs, when obviously I am not. I get that trolls, haters, adversaries are going to want to take this video, take it out of context, then shoot me hate email calling me a lush, an alcoholic, and a drug addict. I will take all of your hate email, just like I always have, bring it down to the authorities and police. I will post up your hate email public for everybody to see what you write to me and have your email address your return email address. I will do that to you. I will not let you walk all over me, harass me, belittle me, or change it around. And then what you're basically doing is trying to destroy my testimony. You're trying to victimize me when I've already been victimized. But worse, you are hindering me helping other people who want to get out. Now, you might hate me, but there's other people who want to get out of the MK Ultra. And Yudhe is giving me answers, and he's giving me suggestions, and he's giving me Bible verses. He's giving me beautiful people that say these great things like CDC, critical doctrine of Christ. So you can belittle me all you want, but I'm going to keep speaking out. Just like those crappy neighbors downstairs that have been fighting. You guys remember for the past year and a half how brutal it's been? I'm going to the cops. They serve and protect. People don't want to take care of their communities, their homes, their country, their families. Well, that's on them, but I'm doing my bit. Last week I was drugged and tortured. I was tripping out. It was horrible. I am praying for you. Jeremiah 33:3, his secret mysteries he reveals to us. I love Jeremiah, right? So Abba's revealing to me. It's only been taking me 7 years to get to this point to be like, So there's, we've been programmed to these fairy tales as kids. Well, Yudhe can give me a storyline to grab my attention, to bring me out of that MK Ultra fog and out of those altered state of minds. Or even, better yet, if I can't get out of that altered state of mind, at least to get my altar interested and intrigued in the Bible and wanting to read it. That's a huge breakthrough for me. Huge breakthrough. It wasn't the cherry picker Christians that helped me. Because, they want to say, God said this and God said don't do that, Holly. And don't you know what the 7 spirits or the 7 gifts of the spirits are? Listen, I'm triggered. What do I care? You're not helping the situation. Yudhe is because he didn't cherry pick anything. He gave me whole chapters and whole paragraphs and really cool stories to read about Moses, Elijah, Elisha, Baruch. There's a whole bunch of, and I'm saying the name wrong, there's a whole bunch of people that are really interesting in the Bible that I connect with. I don't get plastic Christians. They want to remind you of the commandments, how you broke them, and then rub your nose in shit, making you feel bad because you did something wrong. And meanwhile, they're standing up at the pulpit preaching like, they just have flowers and good smells coming off their body. And, they just don't stink, but you do. They're not, sitting at the top of the pulpit going, hey guys, I found 3 places where it's really interesting in the Bible. It talks about time travel. Let's go talk about it. Hey guys, it's really interesting. I found a story, a whole paragraph, whole chapters, pages even, not cherry-picked Bible verses, whole paragraphs and pages. And in that story that God's telling us, inside that story, there is also a second underlying story. And he's got the anatomy of the brain and the anatomy of the eye and all of its different parts listed in that story. So we're reading about what he's trying to tell us. Plus, we're learning what the different parts of the eyeball and brain are, the anatomy of such in that same story. That is what grabs me, and that is what will pull me out. But if you're going to be one of these people, one of these Christians, you're not doing anybody good. You're not even doing Jesus any good. You might be a good Christian, but are you good for Jesus? Are you good for the people around you? Are you really listening and understanding? Good morning, Jade. Is good. That's a breakthrough for me. Speaks to an altar. Brooke, that's a breakthrough for me. Yeah, you get self-righteous, self-appointed, self-elected people. Oh, we're the elite, Holly. No, you're not. You self-appointed yourself the elite. When I look at you, I don't see the elite or the elect. I see deceived. You're deceived. That's what I say. You guys, this is why I tell you guys the stories of my life and the I've experienced. You see what happened in Tennessee with those Christians. You see what happened in Maryland with those Christians. Everybody's a Christian, right? But who is really Holy Spirit filled, led, and baptized? Who's really filled and overflowed? I know people talk a great game and they got all the right words to say, but is it really heartfelt? Is it really in you? Or are you just following the laws and the commandments, making sure you cross every T, dot every I, and you're just sticking by that law? Because if you stick by that law, then Jesus must love you. But you're forgetting about all the other aspects of the relationship you're supposed to have with him. Not just abiding by his laws and commandments, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So this whole CDC thing that Take On the World gave yesterday, critical doctrine of Christ, it's a turnaround for me. It's a turnaround for me. It's a breakthrough. It's something I've never been able to do while triggered. Is come up with a storyline that gets me out of that fog and into Yeshua's living light. So guys, I'm going to keep drawing in pictures. I'll keep writing descriptions underneath it. I will put all of this together and I'll put it in a PDF document and I'll put it up on my post. I'll come up with all the storylines and I'll write it out. So for Project Delta, this is what I do. For Project Delta, when that's triggered, this is what I do. When Ibis is triggered, this is the storyline I follow. It goes from Thoth Moses. I follow him out of Egypt because Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh gave him the directions. I follow him straight into the Old Testament and then time travel with him into the New Testament where he meets Yeshua on the Mount of Transfiguration. I'll put all of this down so you guys can take a look at it. It might help you. Or you might go, okay, well, that was a great idea from Holly, but Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh is giving me something else and I can add to it, and it'll be for all of us. So, I was triggered, and 2 times when I was triggered, I thought of critical doctrine of Christ first. And it's helped me twice not to drink wine or beer. And it's made just these little things make it a lot easier for me to deal with the triggering. I've been sitting in this parking lot for like 20 minutes. I should really get going. I don't like drinking. I can't stand it. I hate it. Reminds me of my ex. I never liked alcohol anyway. I never liked the taste of it. Couldn't stand it. I never drank. It wasn't until 2018, 2017, man, when the ex came to my house to live at my house. I should never let that happen. He was using my car because he didn't have one. So I was always stuck at home without my car, but when he came home from work, he made sure he had alcohol, cocaine, and cigarettes. Yeah, cocaine. I kept that a secret for a long time because he had asked me to, but I am under no contracts or disclosure agreements or anything else, but I hated that. I hated it. I never wanted to be around it. So now, if I never have another drop of alcohol again, that's fine by me. I'm not really a drinker. I mean, once in a blue moon, I mean, if somebody's getting married or, it's a special occasion. Maybe on a birthday, but, it's really hard. It's really hard as an MK Ultra, SRA, and DID survivor. And yes, sometimes we We use drugs and alcohol. And if somebody says otherwise to you, they're lying. All of us have had to battle it. And all of us still to this day, to a certain extent, have to keep battling it, because even though you stop drinking or you stop with your medications or you stop with the drugs, the other half of the work is staying off. So it takes a lot of effort to come off, but it also takes that much same effort to continue to be off. So I wanted to say thank you, Take On the World. You guys rock. Um, and I wanted to share some of this with you guys because maybe it could help you. We do it. We do it to numb the pain. Oh, absolutely. Number one to numb the pain. One of my girlfriends, oh, that poor girl suffered so much. She had trouble taking pain management pills. So the only way she could deal with her pain and her issues, since she couldn't take pain management, was she used alcohol as pain management. Snooky? Should I haven't heard that name in a while. Hey, good morning, Paul. I quit booze, finally becoming easy over the past. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, say law. Well, now we have Kratom, so I hope my friend found Kratom, and that will bring her relief, and she won't have to use alcohol. But listen, I'm not judging anybody for anything. I'm not going to judge you for the medicine you take, the choices you make, what you do, what you don't do. I'm in the same boat. I got the same struggles. So I just don't want to hide it, and I don't want to be embarrassed of it. But yeah, it's a lot to take, and I'm just glad that so far I've made 2 good choices, which is going to be helpful today because I got to go. I got a lot of errands to do. So I don't want to disappoint. I quit. Yep. For healing. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I don't want to disappoint him either. Neither do my alters. But I have to say, a lot of times, there's times that Abba definitely disciplined. Hey, Deaf Brent, I love you. It's great to see you. Really soon, Lois home. Wait, what? There was something I was going to say, and I don't know what it was. I can't remember. Well, I got to go home. Obviously, take a shower. Get changed. I got a lot of running around. I hope you have a great day. It's good to see you, Jade. I was thinking about, yeah. I was thinking about all of you. Who am I kidding? And a shout out to James Sarsna. And Lincoln. And Christy. And Bonnie. Okay. I'm going to let you go. I'll try to improve the quality of my videos. And if I think I found something that can help me untrigger myself, see what it is they're still going to be able to trigger me. So when I say I conquered IBIS programming, they can't trigger me anymore. I conquered it. I'm over it. I should really use my words specifically. It's not that I conquered it. It's just that when they trigger IBIS programming in me, I know the storyline to follow to get out. So they can trigger me. 2 minutes later, I'll find my way out. They can trigger me. I'll find my way out. I'll escape. So if they trigger me, I can find the escape cord. I can find the escape route out. So it's not that I stop their triggering. It's that when they trigger me, I can run away and get away. Fight or flight, right? Well, I'm flying out of here. Yudhevave gave me some good hints. He led Moses out of Egypt, so I'm going to let him lead me out of here too. If I was vegan, I'd starve to death, man. All right. So I gotta go put myself together, and I gotta stop running around in my night clothes. I'm like sweating my tuchus off. It's getting hot out, guys. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me tell you that Take on the World rocks. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you guys in my chat room, because you guys rock too. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for helping me, because it's been a lot to take lately, and I'm doing my best. I don't want to disappoint Abba, number one, but I also don't want to embarrass you guys either. I love you too, Victoria. Bonnie, I just gave you a before. Good morning, honey. All right, I've got to go to get cleaned up to do some errands, but thank you for your 30 minutes of time. Thank you for being here with my breakthrough. And I'm reading the Bible when I'm triggered. And even if I'm not by my Bible and I get triggered, I still, remember Matthew. I think it's, oh man. Come on, Holly. 2 Kings 2. That's, I think, the Mount of Transfiguration. And then we have Matthew. 2 Kings 2. Matthew. May 34, was it? I can't remember, but even when I'm away from the Bible, I'm still reading through it in my head, and that helps. So, all right, guys. Thank you for helping me. Sorry for, my appearance. It was really important to me that I said thank you to you guys. You guys are helping me. You guys are helping Yeshua to help me get control back in my life and to take back my life. So, oh man, I love you guys. I really love you guys. Thank you for what you did for me yesterday, because I can't thank you enough. Take on the World, Brooke. So, Chad, Mr. and Mrs. Sampson, Rick, Brooke, everybody in my chat room, I love you very much. I thank you guys too. Thank you for CDC, our critical doctrine of Christ. It's critical I make sure he knows I love him. It's critical I repent. It's critical I run through my freedom deliverance prayers every day. It's critical to me that I help you guys and pray with you guys. It's critical that I keep my eyes on him, and it's critical that I keep my altars reading his words, because through them doing that, he'll be able to save them and keep them safe. And he is a supernatural being with supernatural powers that can supernaturally hide me from the bad guy. And I got to stop underestimating Abba. And I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being in my life. I'm going to start crying. I love you, my ministries. I love you, my siblings in Christ. I love you, my fellow peers and my fellow survivors. You mean so much to me. You're my extended family, my blessings from Yud-Heh Vav-Heh. And I'm going to go because I won't start crying, but you need to know how special you are. I'm grateful to you and thankful to you. And may Yud-Heh Vav-Heh's will be done in my life. May his will be done in your lives. And, well, guys, I love him most. I love him more. I saw him first. He's mine. He's mine. I'm not Sharon. I'm Holly. He's mine. I get jealous over Yud-Heh Vav-Heh, just like he gets jealous over you guys. Remember to keep him number one. And love him with all your heart, might, and being. And I love you guys in Yeshua's name. I'll be praying with and for you, and I'll come back later. But I got some house chores and things to do, so see you later. And thanks again, Take on the World, because that whole CDC, critical doctrine of Christ, I was able to pull myself out of that muck and mire of MK Ultra programming and I didn't drink wine last night. I didn't drink any beer this morning. And I feel like the powerhouse Yud Hey Vav Hey created me to always be as an individual. Don't forget to remember. River, I love you. I will try not to forget to remember. All right, so I'll let you guys go. If King Helcor watches this, we'll be in touch. Citizen of Gotham will be in touch. I'm sorry that I'm running behind, keeping in touch with everybody. I'm here. It's just sometimes highly triggered. But we're making our way out of it. Thanks to you guys. Take on the world. You rock! You rock! You rock, Chad. You rock, Mr. and Mrs. Sampson. You rock, Rick. Take on the world. Rocks. All love, praise, glory, and worship to Yud Hey Vav Hey for Yeshua HaMashiach. All the customers are like, who's she yelling at? Ooh! Hey, guys. Unattended. That'd be real quick, man. What kind you like? Okay, you know what? Make this a third time. Third time. I said no a third time. All right, I'll go hijack you, Molson Victoria. I'll see you in 15 minutes back at my house. Shh, don't tell anybody. No, actually, I'm going to pull out of here with this running live just so you are certain to know. I didn't touch it. 3 times, though. 3 times. No alcohol. Just empowerment, encouragement, and freedom in Yeshua's name. I love you guys so much. Forgive me on my appearance. I would love to. I would love to, Victoria. All right, guys, I'll see you later. I'm going to go try to be productive and then come back and hang out with you guys. Molson it is. I'm not getting any.